Any goodies and couldn'ts, welcome to Chaya with Maya, and we have a special guest, and this is the fourth episode of Chaya with Maya. Now I'm going to introduce my guest, and his name is Roy Sinai. Hi Roy.
Hi Maya, how are you?
I'm good.
Lovely to see you.
Thank
Lovely
you.
to be here.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about. Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys. What you talking about?
So tell me, like, how do you identify as in the queer spectrum?
In the queer spectrum, I identify as a gay man.
Okay.
Well, I came out, I guess, when I was about 26. And I think in my late teens, I realized that I was different in that I did have crushes and on women, on girls, but I also had crushes on boys. But then, after some sort of experimentation or just dating different people, I realized that actually I was more in touch with having relationships with men rather than women. I have lots of women friends, and I think some of my best friends are all women. But I think 30 years ago is when or 25 years ago, the scene in India was really very different. And actually, I came out, or I decided to come out because of a bad experience that happened to me, where I was being blackmailed. And therefore living in fear, and this went on for a few months, and then I got that person put away and actually put in jail for a little while. But I realized you can't live in fear, and so I came out in stages. Coming out, I don't think is a one-off decision, or it's a process. You first come out to yourself, and then to those who are close to you or who mean a lot to you. And that I was about 26 when that process happened, where I really came out to my family and more to some of my close friends. And one's always fearing that you're going to get rejected or you're going to get shunned. Surprisingly, none of my friends, especially my straight friends, nobody, in fact everyone embraced me, and that gave you a lot of encouragement and support. At work, however, I remained in the closet. I used to have a corporate career, and it was only until I became the COO of my company that I was openly gay, even as a corporate person.
Now that you talked about dating apps, what do you have to say to those gay boys who keeps writing stuff about no uncles, no fatties, no femmes, no Asians? You know, what do you say to all of them? Like, when you come across, do you just...
On one level, I have to respect the fact that each person is their own individual, and you are entitled to your own tastes and your own desires, and fine. But what I would like to also say is, get out of your little box, and you know you may be surprised.
Yes.
And yes, no uncles affects me a lot, in that it limits the market, as it were. I say, your loss.
Exactly. I mean,
That's all.
I have to come to that, where the people who say no uncles, you're actually missing out on a lot. Because I've been with most of the older men, and they have been the most experienced people. They know how to guide you. I was like, I'm learning stuff which I've never learned in my life, Right.
Well, I mean, I agree with that completely. Go for it. Yeah. I'm not going to disagree there.
I want to talk to you about your career. Like, you have a very, fabulous career, you have worked with ads, you have done shoots, you are into theater, which is a lot of reason why we both are connected at the same time. So talk more about that. Like
So when I was younger, I wanted to be a filmmaker, and my dad said, "Get a job, and you can get a camera and do stuff on the side." So I got a job. I worked with a big multinational company, a bank. When I hit 40, which is about 13 years ago, I was the CEO of one of the first call centers in this country, and we in fact started the call center industry in 1998. But I made a decision at 40 that I wanted to revisit that artistic side of me. So I took some courses in video. I didn't end up, filmmaking turned out to be, I'm a lazy fellow, so it's hard work, as in the editing and all of that. So I became a photographer. So I'm very visual, and I am a photographer. And funnily enough, opportunities came to also be on the other side of the lens as a model, where I started doing ad films.
I'm sitting and I'm just like watching a movie, and suddenly see like you crop up in the TV, and I'm like,
So I just did a commercial last week, and I've been doing commercials with some big stars.
yeah,
also.
like last one was with Ranveer.
I did one with Tamanna and with Akshay Kumar and
Yeah.
Ranbir Kapoor.
Yeah. Now coming to the best part of the show, I want you to spill chai on something, someone, anything that you would like to talk about. It can be anything that has been affecting you throughout your life, so you can actually talk about that.
Indian men need a lot of growing up to do, in general, and need to overcome their mother's hold on them, and they could do with being much better in bed. Period. That's like a broad generalization. I would imagine, yeah.
So the next question that I want to ask is, what is your like exciting fling that you have till now? I'm not going to ask you relationships and all of that, because then it's just you know.
Remember last night? No, I've had. I mean, exciting flings. I haven't joined the 1,000 mile. The 1,000 mile club, or what do they call it when you do it in an aeroplane? Have you ever done it in an aeroplane? No. A mile high club, right? But I have done it in some strange places. Yes. In my younger, better days.
Maybe list out these strange places.
Well.
Why not? Let the people, let the youngsters know that those are the places that they need to explore.
In public, in a park, in the middle of 10 o'clock in the morning.
Morning?
Yeah.
Okay,
in India.
I have gone into a corporate park
Where you stark naked. I mean, that's pretty, like, yeah.
Okay, so now we are going to the next segment, the Never Have I Ever segment, where when I ask you a question, you have to like sip if you have done it.
Okay.
So you have to sip the chai.
Okay.
So I think you should keep the chai cup next to you. Okay, the first question. Never have I ever dated someone from an online dating app.
I certainly have.
Never have I ever gotten completely wasted at a public event.
God. We'll need lots of chai.
Never have I ever participated in a role play. Oh God, then you will be drinking chai only. Okay, but what is your like the best role play that you had till now? Like, what is the roles basically?
Yeah, those, what is it? Master slave stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the master.
You are.
The mistress, actually.
Never have I ever Googled my own name to see what comes up. What has come up?
Lots. I wrote, what used to come up a lot was an article I'd written for Tehelka about coming out. And Tehelka was always, when it was still alive, they've also featured where they've covered this issue. So I've always been a proponent that people should own who they are and they should be ready to come out. It is a tough process, but it's always worth it once you start the journey.
Now I've come to the last bit of the show. What do you have to say to people? Like, there's something that you want to say, very inspiring. That like I keep telling people, just give love and just take love, and that's about it. Don't fester on negativity, and that's what I keep telling. So what do you want to focus on?
I think it's a great time to be alive, especially in this country. And I think there's a lot of hope and aspiration, and it really all starts with yourself. And so knowing yourself, being yourself, being true to yourself, respecting others and yourself, period. And that's the foundation for whatever success and whatever dreams anyone might have. The foundation is with yourself. There's one last thing that is serious, it's sad, but it's prevalent. I see a lot of people in the younger generation now who are careless with how they are intimate, and people are getting infected and not taking care of themselves. It's an epidemic, and it has all kinds of consequences. You've got to take care of yourself. You've got to. That's something that I'm scared that people are not.
Do you think they should be more educated about?
Absolutely, we need a lot more education about sexuality, about sex, about our bodies, and people shouldn't learn all this stuff from pornography.
Okay, so that's the end of the talk show, Chaya with Maya. Thank you so much, Roy, for coming.
Thank you. It's lovely being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Thank
much.
you.
And till then, I'll see you soon. Bye.